Hello and welcome to another episode of the Unfit crew. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. Also, I'm hearing the clicks, so if anybody with the clicks, just mute yourself for a little bit. Regardless, today, unfortunately, Numberton or Rankap cannot join us. Sometimes things like that will happen, so we are testing different things in a way of like advancing the story while a member is not around in kind of an interesting way, while also not advancing everything. As well as also maybe we'll do some other stuff when members of the crew are not available, so everyone will be able to enjoy the full experience. We are kind of like thinking about stuff, and we weren't able to bring everything to the table yet, so we're not able to share it with you. But regardless, we'll still have a very interesting episode for today. So let us jump to the recap and let's begin. So for the last time for the Unfit crew, they basically got a message after they trashed the Knoll camp from the wolf spirit that is kind of like is supposed to control these gnolls, which is called Astronac, and he called them to talk with them in the middle of the forest. He wanted to talk with them. He didn't really like. He kind of realized that they're like kind of outsiders, and he wanted to talk with them because he wanted to discuss and not just attack for no good reason, just to understand why they attacked his camps, and also just see what their intention is. After they got into the heart of the forest, Mundane was able to open the gateway into the, with the language around, with the Druidic language around, to the hidden grove that there are met there, Astronac, and they basically talked with him, and he explained again that his child was killed by members of the village, which is the Vikrin village, and he also explained that the village is kind of being controlled by demonic entities. He's not really sure what their power, everything, but he wants to wipe down that village just for not only for revenge, but also for the fact that he doesn't want them to have a foothold on his forests. He doesn't really care about the people. He doesn't really care about hurting the people, but he cares about those so-called demons and what they have done to him. After that, he explained to them that their friend that joined them, Eldritch, their companion, is actually maybe know about a thing or two that he's not telling them. And after confronting Eldritch, which has decided to, well, go along with you, he decided to give you the location, or should I say not the location, like explain to you that this location of the village is controlled by demon and is watched by them all around. They're watching, like they probably have eyes in around the village, and he's not really 100% sure where they can actually operate without them, hurting everybody. It's like, understanding that he betrays them in a way and joining you and then kill his friends and family. Now, you also discover that he's not exactly a dwarf anymore, and they change him for like kind of like a demonic, but not exactly like, a little bit part machine in a way, like, with a suit of metal on himself, in a way kind of like the angels, but not exactly. So it's like, it's kind of like that, but not really. It's more of like it's part of his skin, but he still have a normal skin as a dwarf. However, you have discussed it with him the option of the evacuating the entire village and ways to maybe do that. Astronax still said that he's going to attack the village regardless on the same time, and if his nose could help, he will provide the support. But he is going to attack the village and try to wipe it out clean. If you are able to evacuate the civilians, it's all good. And if you're able to maybe deal with the demons before that, that will also be beneficial. But you guys decided that you want to deal with the evacuation first to, like, take the people that are important to Eldritch to then be able to help him, to allow him to help you deal with the demons a little bit more easily. And that's where you ended the particular planning for yourself. You were not really 100% sure what to do, and you just decided to slip it off for the night. I think I'm pretty much covering up everything, maybe even a little bit too much, Unless, of course, I'm forgetting something. Let me know right now if I forgot something. Just to understand. No? Anybody?
That was a good recap.
Oh, okay.
10 out of 10.
11 out of 10 for me. Okay. Anyway. You all now asleep, right? You all went to your beds, or should I say, like, sleep on the floor. I'm not sure how the shifts are going to work, but at some point, you're all falling asleep, every single one of you, and essentially entering the world of sleep or dreams. We're going to start things off with Gorknack. Gorknack, as normally when you are in your more deeper dreams, you find yourself in this whitish Leosis temple. It looks like it's normally is, kind of like, give you this divine feeling with no weird, like, vines as they were for the last 2 times that you were around. You find yourself there, same things as always, the book on the altar, or should I say, like, kind of an altar, and some statues of, kind of like the symbol of Leosis, more than anything. It just looks like pretty much normal around you. Except from one thing. Looks to be some kind of a confession booth now. But it's not look like it's like any, like, you don't really get any vibe that it's a bad place. It looks like there is a confession booth now, like, after the altar is like after the just in the middle of the room, which is kind of an odd place for it, because I believe, I'm not Christian, but I believe for you guys, like, it's supposed to be not in a place like it's supposed to be in, like, a little bit more a hidden place in the area, right? Like, more to the side. Unless I'm incorrect for that. Unless, like, I'm not sure.
Something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
For, like, I'm not Christian, so I don't know. But basically, this is what you see. Like, you find it odd that it's like kind of like after the altar, immediately, and not like to the side somewhere else, and like a different room. It's just there. So, what do you want to do when you arrive there?
Okay. I see you've done a good job cleaning all those vines. It looks much better than last time I've been here. I am very proud. It looks nice.
You say to yourself...
I know you can hear me.
You say to the air. Like, we want to be 100% clear that you're saying that to the air. Like,
yeah.
You don't hear a response. You don't expect to hear a response. Just to let everybody understand. You don't expect to hear a response, but you think your God hears you. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Okay. As expected.
And also the other one that is always in here. I'm being a bit sarcastic in that.
Well,
being just a bit of a dick.
You are hearing kind of a little bit of an echo of yourself, but everything looks to be all fine, at least for the moment.
Okay, so I'm trying to get to that confession booth.
Okay.
And see what's inside. Let's just enter it.
Okay.
Going YOLO.
You enter it, and you want to roll, investigation check to check the other side, or you want to only just enter without any questions?
You know what? Let's roll the investigation.
18.
Okay.
The other side of the confession booth have some kind of like a weird, kind of like, I would say like, how I call it, tealish light coming out from it. Like, not something strong and, like, very, very powerful, but kind of like a tealish light, like, fused with a little bit more of bluish kind of rainbow colors, in a way. But, like, teal is the strongest one out of all of them.
Ooh, shiny, what this? I touch it with my finger.
You just move your hand through the light that is, like, emanating out there. Nothing really crazy. You're trying to also look in, I'm pretty sure, and you're not really able to make in any figure because the light is a lot more stronger inside. You are noticing that there might be a person there, but it's really, really hard to make out. You're not sure what kind of a person that is. Like an angel of sorts, like, you know what I mean? It's like a female figure, a male figure, and a high, short. You're not able to make anything at the moment.
I knock on it twice.
Okay, no response.
Let's go like this. Nothing?
Nothing to response.
So I start knocking harder.
No response.
I can see you. Is anyone there?
You don't hear anything.
Okay. So I punch it.
Punch what?
I punch it.
Punch what? Give me an example. Like, explain to what are you going to punch? The door, the light, which you can't punch.
I'm punching. So, from what I understand, the light is on something.
Is from a closed door. It's like emanating from the room, like, you know, from the closed door.
Yeah, so I punch the door.
Okay.
Then, at least I try.
Yeah, nothing happens. It's just you punch the door, you have a little bit of dent in the door. Or should I say, like, you know, splatter of, like, wood came out the door. Small one. Nothing too major.
Did the door move?
No. Nope. Not at all.
Okay, I'm not one of the very patient dwarfs out there. So, I'd really ask you to answer me now.
Are you getting angry?
Yes, I'm getting angrier.
Okay.
I'm not a patient dwarf.
I need you to roll to me perception.
Perception.
Okay, you're able to notice it, that the more angry that you get, the more, like, you start seeing the vines coming out from the walls again. Like, you see vines starting to come up the wall, like, out of the walls. Again. These, like, reddish kind of vines that you dealt with before. And you start hearing some whispers, but not able to make them up yet.
I start punching the door. Like, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand.
You're not responding to the warning that you got, kind of like from your... So you're letting your anger consume you in a way?
At this point, yes. I want to go there, and I got angry that nobody is responding. Gorknack doesn't like being ignored.
Okay, so that is your choice for the moment. I think we're going to leave you for punching the door, and we're going to go through for the other character that is in another world, and we're going to talk about the story of Mundane now. Mundane.
Hello?
Could you describe to me your favorite so-called, I would say like a small forest or a grove? Kind of like, describe to me how it looks like, because this is exactly where you're at right now. in a way.
A small grove favorite, huh? Well, I'd probably have to think there are many pine trees around, vines growing from them, and from those vines growing some yellowish, orangish flowers. Um, let's see. To the sides, there would be some red roses, and in the middle is a neatly cut patch of grass. That's about it for detail, though.
Okay. Well, there is something new there, though. In the middle of the grove now, there is like a small pond of water now.
A pond, huh? Well, that's new. Let's check it out.
Okay. You approach it, and well, this pond is. It looks like normal at the start, or like from the outside, like it looks normal, unless of course you're trying to touch it or do anything with it. Then we'll see where it will go. But it looks normal.
Oh no,
like
I'm just looking at it.
Okay. Let's see.
So it just looks like a normal pond of water?
You do see like a fish or two kind of like jumping out of it.
Jumping out of it.
And coming back inside.
Well, I guess I guess I'll try to time it and see if I can catch one of those fish.
Okay. I think for that will be something like. I don't think it's like an athletic or acrobatics. What do you think it is? Because I don't think it's one of those. Maybe
maybe sleight of hand?
Yeah, I think sleight of hand makes more sense.
Alright, here we go.
15. Well, it takes you a little bit of a while to do that. The first few times, like, you're trying to, well, first and foremost, not enter the water. Because it's not really a big pond, so you think, like, you don't really need to enter the water. You try, like, 5 to 6 times to do that without entering, and then you realize, like, I need a little bit more time, more reach to it. So you just enter the pond of the water, and after 1 or 2 times, you're able to catch the fish. And you just hold it in your hand.
Alright. Well, I probably can't get a good appearance of it because I'm probably holding it pretty tight, making sure it doesn't escape. But what does the fish look like?
Well, I want you to roll for me first a dex save.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, you are hearing a little bit of crack. Like, you hear like a kind of like earth cracking down at the pond. Like, you hear like, and you also feel where you're stepping, and then you just like fall right into the water. Like, you feel like it's not like a normal thing because it's like, it feels like there is more water from the inside. It shouldn't be something like this. It's like there is more water under the earth, basically. Like, this small dirt place that you stepped in just held in a more, deeper place in the water. And
yeah, I understand that.
And that's kind of weird for you because you're a fire genasi. But for some reason, even after, like, you're falling very, very deep before you're able to, to balance yourself, you are able to breathe.
Well, that's peculiar.
You're not dead, and you're not, like, your fire doesn't really go out like a Charmander and then you die, by the way. That's
well,
okay.
I'm not really made of fire, but okay.
Your tail doesn't go up and doesn't go out and you die, so don't worry about it. But you are kind of like, just looks around you, and I wouldn't say it's pitch black because you are able to see, but not that well. Until you look at your hand, and you see the fish that you held that's trying to struggle to run away, but it's shiny. It's shining in like a greenish light.
I guess I let it go and see if I could follow it if it goes in any direction.
First and foremost, before you let it go, you notice that it's kind of like not foolish grin. It's kind of like it has some kind of a pattern on its skin that is kind of like look like what do you call it? Like a zip line, I guess. Like it's like up down, up down, up down, up down kind of a feeling, and like with holes in every single place. Like for example, if the line is supposed to go up, then there will be not a hole, like a point there, and it's like between the point up and down, up and down. I don't know how to explain that because I don't really sure how to explain that in English, but it's like between each of like up and down for the line, there is like a point in between of all of them. So it's kind of that pattern, if you understand what I mean.
I have a vague idea, I believe.
I don't really know how to explain that, so sorry. So you let it go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't start singing that song. Anyway, so you let it go, and at the start it's kind of like, I wouldn't say struggles. It takes for the fish a few seconds, and then he just starting to swim in what looks like to be your right direction.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do my best to follow.
Okay, roll for me.
Athletics is typically used for swimming, but could be anything
I
really.
think it's athletics, because athletics is like, you're forcing the water if you're able to move. Ooh, okay, let's see the fish. You are able to keep up. Apparently the fish is very slow for some reason. You by mistake, unfortunately, kind of like damaged one of its fins, apparently, from the way it looks. So you are able to follow it. And, well, it takes you somewhere. It looks like to be some kind of like a weird dome in the middle of like the middle of this weird lakeish, waterish place. It looks like to be kind of like a weird bubble that in the middle of the this place. You don't really see the bottom yet, but it looks like to be a big bubble. It doesn't really shines or anything, but it's like looks to be like a great bubble. You don't able to see inside anything, but you are able to see that there is something like that. And if you don't keep your eyes on the fish, he will swim away. But this is what you see at the moment.
So do I follow the fish or do I investigate? Truly a difficult question. Huh. I think I'm gonna continue following the fish.
Okay, roll once again.
Roll athletics, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Once again. Let's see. Well, the fish is able to pick up the slack, and unfortunately for you, immediately when you're trying to turn around the bubble, he disappears.
Alright, well, I guess towards the bubble now.
Okay. What do you want to do around the bubble? How do you want to investigate it?
I want to enter it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's an investigation to even check anything like that.
Alright.
Okay, well...
You have to understand, I have a +0 in every single check that you've asked me to make.
Yeah. It's like, well, how were you able to do this? Well, it's very dark for you, and it takes you a very, very, very long time. Like, if it took you a little bit of, time to catch the fish, like 2 to 3 minutes, this time is, pretty much 15 minutes to do this. It's like, it takes you a very, very long time to even find some kind of an entry. In a way, it's not even exactly an entry. It looks like that after a while, you're not even finding. It's like you touched the bubble by mistake, and it's like looked like your hand can go through it if you push hard enough.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go in then.
you're going in, and as you're going inside, we're going to move right now into, well, what his name? His name is K-Bolt.
Yes.
The weird dragonborn that we have. So
That's
K-Bolt,
also blue. I'm blue.
you're not waking up as a dragonborn anymore. You wake up
What?
as a human
What?
with the blue hair. And while it does look to you weird at the start, you are starting to kind of like, oh, that makes sense. You don't really understand why, but it makes sense to you in a way.
Yeah, this is natural.
So you look around you, and, well, it looks like a weird place to you. It's kind of like what you expect your mind to look for yourself, but you don't really understand anything because it's like, it's so weird. Because you are not really understand what even is going around you with your own body because it looks different. So, what are you...
This is strange.
What do you see in your own different little world right now? What do you see?
The first thing I see is a tiny rock that appeals to me.
Okay. And what is that rock supposed to be? Explain that to me.
So you see, there's this little rock, and for several amounts of time in the past, I've seen these rocks, but they've always had like some kind of special purpose. Like, they're all the same looking kind of rocks, and if you investigate them, you can see that they're actually some sort of strange device that's set out to analyze the world.
Interesting. Well, you pick up the rock and essentially you put it in your pocket as, you probably kind of understand these devices or whatever you think you call them. You do feel, however, that there is like some particular energy in this thing, like you do feel it with your veins because you are a magic caster and you feel like there are some kind of like a magic property for this rock. You're not able to discern it yet, but you do feel it. Now, as you look around you, you see kind of like a weirdless, endless void of space. But not exactly. It's not like you're floating in space and there's nothing. There is a ground of, I would say like, a grayish rock that you're kind of like around it. You're not flying, but you are looking into kind of nothingness in a way. And, well, at the end of a little bit of a walk, you find yourself before what looks like to be a weirdish kind of purplish portal of sort, like a gateway of sort.
Alright, remembering my duties of trying to save everyone, I go into the portal.
Okay. So, you go inside the portal, and now, well, you find yourself in a weird place that you don't really understand again, but this one is a little bit more built up compared to the previous one. You are not 100% sure if you saw this place before, because, again, it's really, really weird for you, but you do find yourself in kind of like some kind of a mine of sort. You feel that this is familiar and you were here before, but not exactly. And as you kind of like work yourself around, you do notice Mundane kind of like, entering this so-called place from like the wall for some reason. You don't really understand why he did that, but that's how he entered in. And you do recognize Mundane. It's not like Mundane is somebody we don't know.
Hello there, Mundane. I said hello there.
Hello? Are you with us?
Mundane.
He's playing hard to get.
I'm here, sorry.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay. So, you enter the bubble and you find yourself before what looks like to be a weirdish, like, bluish-haired human. For you, that's how it looks like. It looks like you're wearing very, very recognizable gear for you, but few things that are different, especially his appearance. And he's saying to you, "Hello."
I say hello back. Who are you?
Wait, isn't he supposed to know who I am?
If that's what you're saying to yourself in voice.
Yes.
Okay.
Am I that forgettable?
There's just an awkward silence. I'm not saying anything.
Okay. After this awkward silence, well, you kind of like got bored out of the awkward silence and you don't really know what to say. So you're entering into a second awkward silence. The double threat. So, Mundane, for you, it's like, it looks like, I want you to roll for me, I guess a perception check, I guess. That's the best thing for it.
Perception, you said?
Yeah, I think that's the best one for it, right? Like perception. It takes you a little bit of a few more awkward silences, and then you kind of realize that the human stands before you is actually cabled. In human form. For some reason.
Oh, it's idiot number 1. I remember you.
Yeah, Idiot Prime.
Took me a minute. Did you can you take off your scales or something?
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention cabled. For this particular part of the session, all of your wisdom and intelligence are both growing to 20, by the way.
Wow, we're smart.
There is a reason for that. I will not go over that. You maybe will discover it in the future. But for now, you are very intelligent. A lot more than you were before. Or in the real world. So...
He's not Idiot Prime anymore?
You don't hear that, but if you want to, you can act accordingly to be more smart now.
Alright. So, I found this rock. And it's the same as all the other rocks. Now, what should we do with these rocks? Because they're very clearly using some magical force to analyze this world. And I don't think there's enough of us to try to destroy all of these rocks in time.
You show You show him the rock?
Yes. Yes, I show him the rock.
Alright, what does this rock look like?
It looks like
It
this... Okay, you can describe it. Describe it.
I was just gonna say it's just a standard looking rock.
It
But
looks like a standard
it's very...
looking rock, but it has a coloring to it. A lot more than an actual rock. It looks like to be kind of a standard looking rock, but more reddish for this one.
Honestly, I don't know what to make of this. What do you think we should do?
Are you going to touch the rock? Yourself?
Well, I mean, that wasn't really the plan, but since you're suggesting it, why not?
Well, it lights on fire when you're touching it. It's very much attracted to you.
Okay,
You feel a lot
good
more
information to
powerful
have.
when you touch it, because it just emits fire.
Okay, I guess I'll ask if I can keep the rock.
Keeping the rock, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Maybe like try to keep it in a spot where it wouldn't be very open to where your living space is. Because if you do, then who knows who get information out of it. So do you have any like confined spot that you could place it in to study it or something?
I mean, not particularly. I got like a backpack and that's kind of it. I don't carry much, bud.
Okay, how about you try to make some kind of fort outside of where you live, and then you could place all of your rocks there.
All of my rocks? What do you mean all of my rocks? Isn't there just one rock?
Yes, but there's a great chance that you stumble upon another one looking exactly like this. And if that's the case, you should take that too and place it there.
Okay, where even are we to begin with?
What? You talk to me?
Kinda, but just in general, honestly.
Okay. What is your question?
Where are we?
I
It's
told
more
you,
to him,
kind of like
but it could
weird-
also be to you.
It's kind of like a weird mine. For cabled, it's a little bit more recognizable, but you're not sure from where.
Makes sense why I'd ask that question in character then. Anyways, well, I guess I'll take the rock and, I guess I'll be doing whatever he said once I figure out how to get back to where I normally get.
Okay, one more thing, which you might not have known about. I don't think I've discussed this with you yet, but after doing some research on my own time, I've discovered that there's a strange species that is trying to come down and destroy this world we live in. And they're doing so with all these rocks. This is their stage 1. We have to try and stop them before it's too late.
I need you to roll for me, again, Mundane. I need you to roll me a straight, I guess... I guess what is like for... I guess it's like a straight... I'm not sure if it's like it's straight intelligence to understand something from it, or wisdom.
So just flat wisdom?
Yeah, flat wisdom. Wisdom check.
Let's see.
Okay, now, it takes you a little bit of a second, but you're not 100% sure if he's talking about the angels that you heard from before, but from the way that he's describing this, you think that he's talking about another species. But you're not know what species he's talking about. He's just like, you're getting from this, it's like, it's not the angels, it's somebody else that he's talking about.
Okay. What the hell have I signed myself up to?
Well, you don't know. As you kind of having this small discussion, unless of course you want to say something before I will move on.
Oh, no, I'm good.
I'm asking also you, Cabled, if you have something else to say, to add.
Nope.
Okay. As you do that, you start hearing from whispers, kind of like saying, kind of like, it's strong whispers, but it's still whispers. You hear the following. You hear Dimension Traveler. Dimension Traveler.
What? What was that?
You're not from this world. We know that you came from somewhere else. Sorry. start hearing that from like a pretty much a certain direction, like from up, from I guess like in the mines, you are in like from the up, from up in the mines, like from climbing up in them. I don't really know how to explain that in a word. I forgot the word for a second, but from the upstairs of the mines, because you are in the middle of them, so you hear that coming up more straight to the top.
Okay, well, I try to go into that direction.
What do you seek here? What is it you want?
Well,
Mundane,
I keep following.
You see for a second that Cable would kind of like start running after this so-called voice that is very hard for you to hear, but you still hear some kind of like weird voice. It's just for you, it's like doesn't really sounds like the full thing that Cable hears. But
I wave to him. Okay, you go. Bye now. Have fun.
Yep. Well, okay. So we've been good, like we've been with you guys for a little bit of a while. Let's go back into a little bit of Gorknack, because Gorknack has been from the start of the session. So,
Yes.
Gorknack, you were getting angry, right?
Yes, I am, and I'm still punching those doors.
You're starting to hear some kind of a womanish laughter. And you know that laughter. Like, it's not like something new to you. It's like this standard womanish laughter that's just telling you, like, why are you not giving into your anger, Gorknack? That voice. It's like, you start laughing, and it's like, kind of like, you hear that in your ears. Stronger and stronger the more angry you get. Are you
What's so funny?
So you
What's
finally
so
coming back
funny?
to me. You kind of like hear it in your one of your ears. So you finally coming back to me to ask for my help. You kind of like hear as you start seeing kind of like a, not exactly seeing, but it's kind of like a vague seeing, kind of like you see for a second and then you don't kind of thing. Kind of like weird, I forgot what they're called, kind of like a weird spirit, but not exactly. It's like you're seeing a spiritual form of like a woman in red, like, red figure. You don't even see like any facial features or anything, but you can make like this is a woman, like a baseline of a woman that's kind of like goes like closer to you, kind of like wraps around your shoulder and just saying, you're finally coming back to me. You're finally using my power again, she says. And you don't really can touch her or anything, but you do feel her presence.
What are you doing ignoring me?
Oh no. But you use my anger, and that makes me more powerful. And
I punch her.
you can't. She's a spirit. You punch
I-
the air.
I'm angrily swinging myself at her.
Okay. You just hit the wall.
What do you want?
Roll for me a dex save.
Dex save, okay. Dex save.
You're able to, even if you're super angry, you're able to notice the vines and not get entangled with them when you're kind of like hit the wall.
Okay.
So, you ask her what she wants from you, and she says again, I don't want anything from you. I'm just glad that you're using me again. Use your anger, Gorknack. It makes you so powerful.
Okay. So I noticed the vines, right?
Yes. Like, the vines are all around. It's not like you don't notice them. It's like, they're all around. You're just not falling on one of them and getting entangled in one of them because of your anger.
Okay. Okay, just let's be clear. Earlier, Gorknack was very angry and basically had tunnel vision.
Yes.
So I was punching the door, and I didn't notice those vines.
I think you did, but you decided not to do anything with them.
Or I did, but
You noticed them
subconsciously, and I
growing, but
ignored
you
it.
decided not to notice them for some reason. Yeah, you decided not to. You decided to ignore them.
Okay, so now I see those vines.
Okay.
Oh no! No, what have I done? No! And let's just make it the best. No! We skip Gorknack screaming no
You kind
everywhere.
of like hear that no, and like you hear this laughter from her, and you kind of like give in for the vines that's starting to entangle you. At the same time, which this is for a specific thing, I'm doing it like that. At the same time, K-Bolt, you just keep chasing this voice that you're not able to catch over and over and over, and you're falling down deeper and deeper into the mine, even though you're trying to climb up, and there is no seeing any way for you to climb. As for you, Mundane, well, you've just been left alone, and you don't really know what to do with yourself. You just looks around.
I got a rock.
You got a rock, which you hold in
I
your
mean, do I
hand.
really need anything else?
And the more and more you're looking at it, is like the more and more you're getting tempted to use it. You're more tempted to use and ignite your fire with no control. As you kind of do that, you kind of being brought back to your surface. And when you're trying to turn off the fire, you're not able to, and you start burning your own grove and everything around you, with no control over it. There is no control for you in this. I need you to all roll for me something. I need you to all roll for me a wisdom save. 21, 11, and...
Yeah, I've pretty good wisdom saves, so not being in control is quite unusual for me.
Yep. What about you, K-Bolt?
My wisdom modifier is also pretty decent. I just
But
put
you
in
just
my rolls.
K-Bolt? Hello?
Yeah.
Roll.
Hi.
Wisdom. Save.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mundane, you're starting hearing it in your ear, a very recognizable voice that just say to you, "It's not real. Snap out of it." Kind of like a womanish voice that you recognize. "Just listen to my voice and follow it," she says.
Okay, I guess I follow it.
And you find yourself, after a little bit of a while, the fire kind of calmed down. It's starting to be not your own grove, but a different kind of like a small forest or field of grass, and you find yourself in front of a very recognizable person. The red-haired demon goddess, Evers. And she kind of like looks at you. "Well, you've been sleeping very, very deeply for some reason," she says, as she kind of like looks at you halfly interested and very concerned at the same time. take a sit. We'll take care of your friends in a second as well.
I guess I take a seat.
So, for you two, it takes a little bit of more of a while. Gorknack and, K-Bolt, it's take a little bit more of a while. But for you, Gorknack, you hear some kind of a voice, the same voice said to you, just calm yourself. Don't let your anger consume you. It's not real. It's all in your head. This is not your own God's doing. This is just an illusion. For you, you could roll another wisdom save if you feel like you're just going to not listen to it or anything. Because
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
You're fine. And you are being able to kind of like calm yourself, close your eyes, and find yourself in front of Mundane and Evers. As for you, K-Bolt, you hear the same thing, and you just, like, after these echoes of voices, you hear a more stronger voice that kind of just said to you, I don't know what you have experienced, but this is not what you should focus on. These are just your memories or whatever they are. These are not real voices that are calling you. None of this is something that you should pay attention to, or at least I don't think it is. Just wake up from deeper sleep and come join us. We're waiting for you. Do you decide?
And I should trust you why?
Hmm?
And I should trust you why?
Oh, you know me. I'm your friendly demon goddess. You know who I am. You met me twice before. You don't trust me now?
You know, I don't think I could trust anyone at this point.
Very well then.
So I will not follow your advice.
Okay. I need you to roll for me a wisdom save again. Okay. So now, instead of being deeper into the dream, your mind kind of like, I wouldn't say shattered, but you kind of like not able to control yourself, like your head is filled with thoughts way too much, and you just collapse. And when you open your eyes, you're back to be your scaly self in front of your two friends. And I think this is a great place to take a break, everyone. Maybe a little bit earlier than usual, but yeah, I think that's a good place to just stop this and understand what will happen in the next part. See you all in part B.